In the quiet town of Amityville, New York, there stands a house shrouded in darkness, a place where horror and tragedy have left a permanent mark. The story of the Amityville Horror begins in 1975, when the Lutz family moved into a beautiful home that would soon become their worst nightmare. What began as a dream home turned into a terror-filled nightmare that continues to haunt the minds of those who hear their tale. This is the terrifying encounter of the Lutz family and the Amityville Horror. The house at 112 Ocean Avenue was once the scene of a brutal tragedy. Just 1 year before the Lutz family moved in, it was the site of the heinous murders of the DeFeo family. Ronald DeFeo Jr. had killed his parents and 4 siblings in cold blood, claiming he was compelled to do so by voices in the house. Despite the gruesome history, the Lutz family, eager to start anew, moved in, unaware of the horrors that awaited them. George and Kathy Lutz, along with their 3 children, were filled with excitement as they settled into their new home. The house, with its grandiose architecture and sprawling grounds, seemed perfect. But it didn't take long for things to take a dark turn. Within days, strange occurrences began to happen. The Lutz family would soon learn that some houses hold more than just memories. They hold malevolent forces that refuse to be forgotten. It started with small things: unexplained cold spots, the overwhelming stench of something rotting, and strange noises in the night. But it didn't stop there. George Lutz, the father, began waking up at 3:15 a.m. every night, the exact time of the DeFeo murders. The house seemed to have a grip on him, and his behavior grew increasingly erratic. Meanwhile, Kathy and the children began to experience terrifying phenomena of their own. Doors would slam shut on their own, furniture would move, and the house seemed to grow colder with each passing day. But the most chilling encounters were those of the demonic presence that seemed to lurk within the walls. Kathy Lutz reported being attacked by unseen forces. Her hair would be pulled, and she would feel hands gripping her body, pulling her into the dark recesses of the house. The children began to see strange, unexplainable figures, ghostly shapes moving in the shadows, eyes peering out from the dark corners of the rooms. It wasn't just the supernatural phenomena that terrorized the Lutz family. The house itself seemed to be alive. The Lutzes reported seeing demonic faces in the windows, a strange green ooze seeping from the walls, and swarming flies appearing in the cold winter months, especially in one room that had once been the DeFeo's bedroom. But perhaps the most sinister presence was that of the room known as the Red Room, a small windowless space in the basement that seemed to act as the house's epicenter of malevolence. The Lutzes had no idea that this room would become the focal point of their growing terror. It was in this room where they felt the most oppressive force, as if something darker and more malevolent was lurking just beyond the walls. As the days passed, the situation only grew worse. George Lutz began to feel an overwhelming sense of dread, and he became paranoid and irritable. Kathy would often hear voices calling her name, and their children grew terrified of the house. The final straw came when the family fled the house in the middle of the night, after only 28 days of living there. They left behind most of their belongings, not knowing what had caused the horror they had experienced. The Lutz family's sudden departure only fueled the mystery. What was it that drove them to leave their dream home in such haste? What dark forces were at play? The Amityville Horror would become one of the most famous and controversial paranormal events in history, with many skeptics dismissing the claims as hoaxes, while others believe the house is still haunted to this day. To this day, the Amityville Horror remains a topic of debate. Was it the Lutz family's imagination, or did they truly encounter something far more sinister? Paranormal investigators have continued to explore the house, but the terrifying experiences of the Lutz family have never been fully explained. Even after decades, the question remains: are the spirits of the DeFeo family still haunting the house, or was something darker at play? What do you think? Could the house have truly been haunted by malevolent forces, or was it all just an elaborate hoax? Share your thoughts and experiences in the comments below. If you enjoyed this spine-chilling tale of the Amityville horror, be sure to like, share, and subscribe for more true stories of the paranormal. And don't forget to click the bell so you never miss a terrifying tale. Thanks for watching, and remember, some houses are more than just buildings. Sometimes they are gateways to the unknown.